Codex Tactics. This is your 10-minute battle brief for Champions of Faith, Codex Adepta Sororitas. So the detachment playstyle is melee focused, buffs mostly Battle Sisters, Celestian Sacresants, which are the Shield Sisters with a 4-up invuln, and specifically Paragon Warsuits, i.e. Nundums. Celestian Sacresants will be +1 OC. You can discard Miracle Dice in the command phase for movement, leadership, and or weapon skill, ballistic skill. These are Battle Sisters, Sacresants, and Nundums only. They can give lethal or sustained 1 in shooting or combat for a command point. Nundums and Sacresants and Sisters can fall back, shoot, and charge for a command point. They have mortal wound negation for a command point. They have 6-inch pile and consolidate for a command point, and 1 CP in melee plus 1 strength if they're righteous, which is on the following slides, for an additional -1 AP. So the army rule for Sisters has changed a little bit. You gain 1 miracle dice at the start of each battle round. At the end of each phase, if 1 or more Adepta Sororitas units from your army were destroyed that phase. Each time you gain a miracle dice, roll 1d6. The number you roll is the value of that miracle dice. This value cannot be changed or re-rolled unless a rule specifically states otherwise. Keep your miracle dice to one side. This is your miracle dice pool. Performing an act of faith before making a dice roll for a model or unit in your army with the Acts of Faith ability. If you have 1 or more dice in your miracle dice pool, that unit can perform an act of faith. So basically, they're going to swap out dice for advance, battle shock, charge, damage, hit, save, or wound rolls. The detachment rule, in the Sisters command phase, they can discard 1 to 3 miracle dice. Each dice grants righteous to 1 unit and confers the following: +1 move, +1 leadership, +1 weapon skill and ballistic skill to Battle Sisters, Sacresants, and Nundums only. The enhancements: Triptych of Judgment, it ignores mods to weapon skill and ballistic skill, or any modifiers to hit. Mark of Devotion, in melee, +1 attack to the bearer if they're righteous, +2 attacks, and +1 damage to the bearer. Eyes of the Oracle, bearer's weapons have precision. If an enemy character is destroyed, +1 CP. And Sanctified Amulet is a 12-inch no-go deep strike bubble. Strats and abilities. +1 CP is a 6-up Feel No Pain against mortals. If they're righteous, it'll be 5-up. 1 CP shooting or fight phase gives lethal or sustained. 1 CP in the fight phase, +1 strength in melee. If they're righteous, +1 AP as well. 1 CP is 6-inch pile and consolidate. 1 CP Celestian Sacresants are -1 to hit in the fight phase. If they're righteous, choose another Sacresant unit within 6 inches. They'll be -1 to hit as well. 1 CP fall back, shoot. If they're righteous, they can fall back, shoot, and charge. Key synergizing units are Celestian Sacresants. These are anti-elite or infantry. They move 6, standard T3, 1 wound, 4-up invuln. Sacresants move 7 inches if they're righteous. These are Sisters with shields with a 4-up invuln. If they're righteous, maces can be 4 attacks, strength 5, AP 2, 2 damage. The Halberds can be 4 attacks, strength 6, AP 3, 1 damage with lance. They can be -1 to wound with character leader, -1 to hit with a strat. They do have mortal wound negation with strats, fall back and charge with a strat, 6-inch pile and consolidate with a strat, and lethals and sustains with strat. Potentially up to 3 OC each with a Dogmata. The Hospitaller confirms 5-up Feel No Pain, and D3 +1 regen with Miracle Dice. Asher Thurman and Agatha Dolan give the unit devastating wounds. The Nundums are the hard hitters. They're going to move 8, T7, 2-up save, 4 wounds, 4-up invuln. +1 to hit and wound against monsters and vehicles. They can be +1 weapon skill and ballistic skill, also +1 movement. Stormbolters or grenade launchers, 1 attack, strength 9, AP 2, D3 damage. They can have heavy bolters, flamers, or melta. The Warblades, 4 attacks, strength 8, AP 2, 2 damage. Maces, 3 attacks, strength 12, AP 1, 3 damage. They'll likely be hitting on a 2-up. They reroll all hits and wounds if Vol is attached to the unit. It can be up to strength 13, AP 2, 3 damage with a strat, lethals, and potentially sustained as well. Vol is movement 8, T7, 2-up save, 8 wounds, 4-up invuln. Reroll hits and wounds for Nundums. It's just 36-inch range on weapons. Don't get shot by this or warsuits, especially if you're T9 or less. She's good in combat as well. 5 attacks, strength 8, AP 2, 3 damage, or sweep 10 attacks, strength 5, AP 1, 1 damage. Zephyrim are the power weapon jump unit. They're going to move 12, standard T3, 5 up invuln. They do have deep strike. They can have lethals or sustained one or both with a miracle dice, and they're going to reroll charges if they have a banner. For Pencha, they're going to shred most of Marine equivalent bodies of T6 or T7 lower, +1 strength if that vow is chosen, or lower with 3+ save. They move 7, standard T3, 6 up invuln, 5 up feel no pain. The superior has whips, 4 attacks, strength 1, AP 1 damage, anti-infantry 4 up. Eviscerator will be 2 attacks, strength 6, AP 2, 2 damage, sustained 1. A reroll hits and wounds with the superiors in the unit. Minister and Priest can give them +1 to wound. The Palatine can give them lethals, and they can also be Lance or an additional -1 AP. So the other key units, the Exorcist is good indirect, causes battle shock, and 5 up deadly demise. Missiles on this are going to be D6 attacks, +2, strength 10, AP 3, D6 damage, or rockets, 3d6 attacks, strength 6, AP 1, 1 damage. The Castigator has a 48-inch range, -1 AP. It increases AP for other sisters units by 1. So the battle cannon on that's going to be 48 inches, blast, ignores cover, D6 attacks, +3, strength 10, AP 1, 3 damage, or the auto cannon be rapid fire 4, twin linked, 4 attacks, strength 9, AP 1, 3 damage. Battle Sisters straight up as well in this detachment. So what's a win path look like against this? In deployment, the Sacresants can be difficult to shift, so pay attention to where those are going. Paragon Warsuits hit hard in combat. Prioritize units that convert miracle dice, characters, the Triumph, things like that. This detachment wants miracle dice for Sacresants and Paragons, as well as heavy weapons and pivotal dice rolls as usual. Beware of the 6-inch pile and consolidate. Repentia will likely start in Rhinos. They can't advance and charge natively. Penitent engines can advance and charge. Mortifiers can fight on death. You'll have to screen out the Seraphim and Zephyrim only once. There's no way for them to return to reserves. The Seraphim, remember, can move 6 inches after shooting. Starve them of miracle dice, and the detachment falls apart quickly. Multi-phase attacks will help with mortal wound and feel no pain negation. Units can fall back and shoot. Don't tangle with Vol or the Nundum Brick without first engagement. And remember that Castigators can grant additional -1 AP for every unit hit by them. And that's pretty much it. Keep that in mind, and you'll handle this well. Best of luck.